Hello, I'm Debbie Bell-Hosking of Finextra here in Dublin at the Temenos Community Forum event, where the theme is Digital to the Core. Today we're talking artificial intelligence, innovation, and the impact on the customer experience. Joining me is Dharmesh Mistry of Temenos and Alan McIntyre of Accenture. Hello.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Alan, let's start with you. How should banks go about transforming the level of service to their customers, and what role does AI play in this?
I think the reality is that many customers would rather not deal with their bank. They want financial services to be invisible to them to a large extent. So when it comes to things like payments or everyday banking, they would rather it just recedes into the background. When they do have to deal with their bank, what they really want is, in many respects, a return to what we had 40, 50 years ago, which is a truly personalised view of banking, where the customer feels as if they're known, they feel as if their information is already resident within the institution, and that they can quickly and effectively transact and do the things that they want to do without having to explain themselves to the bank all the time. And I think one of the impacts of AI is to take us back to that true level of personalisation, where the information allows the customer to really feel as if the institution knows them.
So that's interesting, you're connecting the digital with the more personal. So where would you say banks can benefit the most from AI?
I think there's really three things that I see as being important. One is that sort of customer engagement layer, whether it be an Alexa skill, being able to talk to your bank, a chatbot functionality, your smart devices. I think that level of interaction, AI is important for powering that, natural language processing, all that goes with that. I think an important layer of this, though, is advice. Customers are looking for advice, they're looking for it in the moment. So really, rather than selling products, I think banks are going to move to selling promises. You know, how can I save at the highest possible rate? How can I borrow at the lowest rate? How can I transact and pay effectively? And I think AI is going to play a big role in providing that type of advice in the moment. And then the third layer, I think, is helping the bank with things like risk and compliance. So, really using all the information that's out there to do KYC, to do anti-money laundering checks. Again, making it easier for the customer and letting the data do the work, powered by the AI.
So picking up on banks themselves, Dharmesh, how would you say the smaller banks can compete with the larger ones in terms of building ecosystems to drive innovation?
So it's you've got to think about building an ecosystem as a number of steps, and the first thing is that you've got to expose a set of APIs that people can then use your data and services to kind of embellish with some kind of new form of engagement. So there's a job there to kind of like make it possible for people to interact with you. Then you've got to have an active program to kind of recruit these people in and say, right, we've got these APIs, come and use it. And when they use it, you have to provide a sandbox for them to test this stuff in, etc. And then the final step is actually getting their customers to kind of understand that they've got more than what the bank offers to actually use the ecosystem. So all of this process we kind of call curation, and it actually is very intensive and very costly. So the big banks can throw money at this and try to make it work, but the small banks can't. So really it's a big challenge. What we've done in Temenos is actually do that curation process for them, right? So for 3 years we've been recruiting, we've vetted over 1,000 kind of fintechs. We have over 100 products in the marketplace that we've created. And with our ecosystem, if you're on our core banking platform, you've got this ecosystem ready-made for you, right? So now a small bank is able to have an ecosystem of the same size, if not probably bigger than some of the bigger banks at the moment. So if I look at the ecosystems from bigger players, we've got more fintechs in there already. So we're leveling the playing field with our ecosystem for the small banks.
So you talk about leveling the playing field. In your opinion, what's the roadmap for AI and banking?
So switching gear onto AI, I guess, I totally agree with Alan. I think, one of the big areas is definitely going to be around the customer engagement. And there I see a roadmap where if it's for the bank for the first time to introduce some AI, then, typically what they'll do is use the AI like a channel, right? So show me my balance, pay my bill, etc. Very instructional, right? And there may be a little bit of feedback in terms of, okay, your salary's coming up, etc. Right? So a little bit of proactivity there. The second stage is where the AI becomes an advisor, and it's very much goal-based, right? I want to save for a new car. I'm thinking of going on a holiday. It's going to be quite expensive. How do I finance that? So these kind of goal-based things are specific tasks that the AI will help the customer with. By the way, you spent less this week, therefore you could go on, meet your holiday goal sooner if you put that money towards that, right? So it's a bit of coaching on a specific task. And that means, then the third step where it should end up is where the AI is much more of an assistant, right? And here I see banking kind of blending in deeper into the customer journey, right? Where, the technology and banking is less obvious, right? So it's, instead of you just saving for the holiday, it's kind of understood you as to the kind of holiday that you want. It's found the holiday that you want. It's got you the best deal. It's arranged the car to pick you up, et cetera, et cetera. It's more than just that one goal. The other things that around it, the deeper part of the journey, is what the personal assistant will help you with.
Well, thank you so much for both of you for taking us on this outlook on AI and that journey. We look forward to it. Thank you both, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching.